I'm like, well, double 50% would have been double the 257. And we have grown by 339% in 1 year, you guys. That's amazing. So whatever we're doing something right. So let's keep doing it. And then this call is to tweak a few things. So we're really close to hitting 1 million in sales in 1 month. And that's my goal this month, you guys. So let's get your girls booking parties and recruiting and all the good things. I mean, that would be amazing if we could be $1 million team. Oh my God. And we're actually almost close to a $12 million team total for forever. But that in itself is insane. So that's really great. How do we do that? So first of all, I want to talk about onboarding. Okay. And I said this last night as well. Did I record? I'm recording, right? Yes, okay. I said this last night as well, but I know a lot of you weren't on, so I want to repeat it a little bit. Bear with me for the ones that were on. I'll keep it short. The onboarding process for me was brutal. It was something I struggled with for a year and a half or from the beginning of time. I did not recruit because of it. I avoided it like the plague. I felt like it was another job. I don't know if anyone agrees with me on that. You guys can nod your head or tell me, no, it was easy. And if you say it's easy, I'm totally calling on you and saying, let's see what you guys did because I need your help. But out in Utah, I spoke with Tracy a lot and Ashlyn a lot, and this is how they're onboarding now, and I'm going to adopt it. So as leaders, what my goal is here, you guys, is to get on the same page and trickle the information down, because I can't be the only voice. First of all, if I'm the only voice, then they only think it's all my experience is everybody else's experience. Listening to Bethany last night showed other people another way, another person, another voice, another story, another experience other than mine. So it's great. And I want to see more of your faces, your trainings, your opinions, all the things. Okay. So that being said, what I would like everyone to do as far as onboarding is concerned with your teams, and then telling your teams how to do it, is they sign on. And the very first thing is download the app and get into the training session. And what I've coined it is learn and earn. Okay. We're going to learn and earn. You can even say, we did not have this program. If you weren't privy to this program in the beginning, we did not have this. So this is a bonus program. There are 2-minute videos in each section, like 2 minutes per 5 different sections. There's several, but get your girls started. All you tell them is, I need you to get the app and start going through the trainings. And in 3 days, I'm going to contact you and answer any questions that you've written down while you've gone through the training. As you go through the training, you're not only learning about the company and how great we are and all the things on how to get it going, you are earning points for a ton of product and business supplies that you get to bank and use at your leisure. That's a huge bonus for them, and you need to make sure that they follow that. One of the only highlights I would say is, the only thing I would like you to pay close attention to during the training part is the jump starts, because I would like to hit that up with you or talk with you about that on our 3rd day call, because I want to give you some time to get acclimated, start looking at the webs or the app and get your website set up, and then ask questions, and then we'll come back. On that 3-day call, I'd love you guys to get their launch party scheduled, or if they're rearing to go and you can tell and you can get them prior to that, do it. If you're sensing overwhelm, give them the 3 days to start checking out the trainings. Okay. That's how we can start becoming more cohesive as a group on how we get onboardings in place. Also, I mentioned this last night, and I could tell people listened and did it. I have that special link tree now, and it's in the announcements, pinned as an announcement. So it's always at the top of the page. You just click announcements, and it's in there with our calendar and something else. I'm probably going to get rid of the calendar because the calendar is in the link tree. So that might end up going away, so we don't have so many things at one spot. But the link tree has the new stylist checklist, which you're going to want them to print off, because it talks about why are they doing this? What is it that they're wanting? If they only want to make $300 like Bethany, you hold Bethany's hand and tell her, okay, this is how you're going to make $300. Or if they want to pay off their mortgage, you're going to say, okay, that 1082, we're going to talk about that too. So you will know how they want to go. Okay. So that's when you sign on a new stylist, or any of your teammates are signing on a new stylist, this is the protocol. Download app, start the trainings, pay attention to Jumpstart, get them on the link tree. Talk to them in a couple of days. What I've heard is that most people go, that's all I have to do. How great is that? Because that's not what we were saying before. It was always, holy crap, how many groups am I going to get in? Okay, so I would love a little feedback. If you guys, this is new, this is something I'm wanting to try, but if you guys in the initial thought of it, come up with a bonk, if something's not right, what do you have any pushback or opinions about going forward in that manner?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Do you know when they're going to start the rewards again on the app? Because they're still not out.
Yes, we got that question. Here comes Ashlyn. We got that question last night as well. I don't know. They're trying to get everything up and running back again with convention, with summer launches, with the fall line, which, you know, I'm sure they will announce next week at convention. Hi, Ashlyn.
Hello.
Hi. Do you have a second for me to kind of go on a little bit more, or do you need to get your training in and get off?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Do you know when they are going to, do you recall if they said anything about the rewards for the app getting back up and running?
I think it kind of depends on when the twosies are steadily available.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Yeah. Okay. So, and Ashlyn, I was telling them how Tracy was talking to us out in Utah about the onboarding process, about downloading the app, getting them started on the training, and then asking them what's up in 3 days and kind of getting them going from there. Have you tried that yet?
I have a few girls that have, and it's been a lot. Just kind of streamlines the whole, you know, it's kind of like word vomiting on a potential stylist. You know, we word vomit on our new stylist too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's why I was really excited about this. So, so there's that. The other thing,
and I have a question then.
Where are you at, Mickey?
Yeah, it's Mickey. Sorry.
That's okay.
My one question is, like, I still struggle with the 1082 whole situation thing. So how do you encourage that to someone else if, like, we're still struggling with it? I mean, granted, yes, I've been here almost, well, no, I guess it has been 2 years, but, like, I still struggle with it because I just feel funky with everything. Like right now, I feel like I'm in a complete and absolute, like, rut.
But you are in a different space than other people too. I mean, you have a newborn that you're taking care of yourself. So there could be someone in another situation that's like got it figured out, or they have experience regarding it. I would point them in the direction of the training of the 1082. I would point them in the direction of someone, a leader that can explain that. I went over it last night on the team training again. I know we have trainings in All That Glitters about it. Yes, I recommend leaders doing what they want their teams to do.
Right.
If you're not doing it, they're not going to be doing it, because
I can just say right now that that's just like a crapshoot for me.
And I know that, but that doesn't have to be for your team, and you don't need to be telling them that, because this is a stage of life for you you're going through. So for me, you focus on what actions you want them to take. And if they're wanting rapid growth, they're going to want to do it. And if they don't want rapid growth, they're not going to want to do it.
And I wouldn't, can I say, and I'm sorry, and I wouldn't put yourself down in the process, Mickey, right? Like, they don't need to, like, who cares? Like, you do what you got to do right now to survive, and then just give them the support that they need. But you could also do like a chat, like I've done booking challenges in my groups and stuff like that. And like, people just like those because like for me personally, external accountability is like a big thing. And that's what the booking challenge does for people.
How funny, Ashlyn. She's doing one.
Oh.
Are you in the middle of one right now?
I just say, Jen, would you mind like sharing? Because I know what they are, but I don't know.
I'm gonna do one in all that glitters.
Okay. So that we can learn off.
Ashlyn's giving me all of her stuff, so I'm already on it. We're
So
gonna
we
do
can
one.
learn off of Ange's, Mickey.
We're gonna do it next week.
Okay.
Okay. Mental note: doing a booking blitz next week. Okay. I've never done one either, Mickey, so it'll be fun. We'll all learn together. Okay. The other thing I kind of want to talk to you about, and I'm kind of glad Ashlyn is here to kind of back me up on this. Not that she's supposed to be here to do that, but she can be. Is I know a lot of you, and you might give me pushback on this, going forward, for sure, without a doubt, I don't want anyone starting a team page unless they're an executive or above, okay? We're growing so quickly, you guys. If we start having branches over here and branches over here, like everyone on this little Zoom right here is not even all of our leaders. If every single person had a team page, then what am I doing? Then what on God's green earth does all that glitters do? So what has been suggested, and I think is a great idea, because I know the next question in your mind is, I want to connect with my team, I want to offer incentives, and I only want to offer it to them. So what I've seen happen in other groups, and I think it works great, because what's happening is things are getting diluted. People are starting to create their own systems. People are starting to do their own thing. And I'm not really opposed to that per se. I'm not trying to be a bossy babe here. But what's happening is people are not necessarily, once we start growing to the nth degree, which is what's happening, it's going to start becoming a problem. It's been fine right now, but it's going to start becoming a problem. And like I just had Katie Rampy ask me, I've got 2 people underneath me. Do I need to start a group? Oh God, no, please don't start a group. Okay. And that's what we need to tell people who are team leaders, directors. Like, so here's how we solve the incentive issue. You can go into all that glitters and you can say, polish pinkies, my team, polish pinkies. This month I'm offering an incentive just to polish pinkies. And I'm going to go live in all that glitters and explain this. But this month, when you guys do this, and what's beautiful about this is, number one, Jen shows up as a leader. She shows up her like creativity of what she's doing. It gives other leaders ideas, and it gives Jen a voice as a leader in our group. It shows what her team is willing to do. It shows how they're performing, and it's a great thing. If we don't, because what's happening is when I have all that glitters, and you guys all have, everyone who's a part of all that glitters is a part of your teams. If you're all splitting off and doing that, then what are we, is everyone catching what I'm saying here? I understand the challenge of what you guys are wanting to do and create that team atmosphere. But right now, until you're an executive, I don't want you creating a separate group for that. So if your teams start doing that, tell them that we need them to start going in all that glitters and shouting out their people and saying, okay, like even Katie Rampy, I'm going to be like, your 2 girls, if you want to offer them incentives, you say, hey, Jen Kupiak and Bethany, you guys on my team, my 2 little team members, this is the incentive I'm going to offer you. Okay, you can do a graphic, you can do the whole thing.
We don't even have a team name.
Well, and that's okay. Where are you at? So all can see. Yeah, you could, and then tag them. Yeah, Debbie. Debbie, come on. Are you on? Can you not talk to me? You can unmute. Ashlyn, are you still on here? Oh yeah, you. So Ashlyn, isn't that how you guys do it?
And we actually made this change a while ago, like a really long time ago. So our team is used to it. It was a little rough on some for the transition, and there were some that kind of pushed back. But what we were finding is that, a director would start their own team page, and then, someone under them would go, well, I'm almost a director. I'm a team leader. I'm going to be a director. I better start mine. And then someone under them is like, well, she's a team leader and she's got one, so I'm going to start one. And the next thing you know, all these different people are trying to come up with things for a team group, making sure they're posting things. Even if you start out thinking, oh, it's just going to be for information, that's what your main group is for. And I mean, I want to say we did this over 2 years ago, like within the first year, because we just found that, new people are joining and they're being added to 6 groups, 8 groups, as the depth of your team grows. Or they're just being added to a couple way down and they have no idea who anyone is or where support is. We don't always know our upline when we join. And sometimes we find we don't get along, or people leave as well. So it's better in the long run for you to have connection with the group at large. And we found too, I actually have one of my executives, she started her own team group when she hit executive, and we actually just recombined groups at the beginning of this year because it just became silly that we were doing
repeating the business,
all the same things, like copying each other, posting it. And it has been actually incredible since we recombined. It's been amazing. The team camaraderie, the support, the way that the girls, all get along and help each other has been so great. And the upcoming executives are like, do we have to start our own group? Like, they don't want to leave now. And we do the same thing. Leaders will go in and post their own incentives. They can go live and do a live, incentive posting, or they just make a graphic, and it works out just fine. There were a few confused people here and there that are like, am I part of this? Am I part of that? But once they kind of got used to, like, if you don't know if you're part of it, you're probably not, like what's a polished pinkies? If you don't know what that is, then you're probably not one. So it didn't take a whole lot of effort, and people understood what was happening. But, it's a lot of work to run a team page, a group page, whatever you want to call it. And as leaders, we put more work on ourselves already than what we need to. So I think even it might seem a little weird or uncomfortable at first, but us pooling our resources and staying, not having all these different groups has been one of the very best things.
and I can see how that would benefit you in conference, and it's really important to me, and I'm sure it is to you guys, which is why you guys want your camaraderie with your own. It's important to me to get to know these people as well, so I don't want them to like scoot on over here, and then also like things are just done differently. So ideally for me, you guys, what I would love you guys to start doing is to start presenting your incentives in All That Glitters, and I'll go live and I'll discuss it before we do it. And I know already, because I know you guys have already kind of created an atmosphere and an environment and a team culture. I get that. I'm hoping that you can see the benefit of this. I'd really like to try it. And I would really like you guys to, if you're going live in your team pages, there's no reason why you can't go live to do that instead in All That Glitters. Because what you're saying, like what Bethany was saying last night, it hit me square in the face. Like, everyone on the team needs to hear this. And everyone on the team didn't hear it because not everybody on the team was there last night. So they need to hear every box on this screen right now. They need to hear whatever it is that you're sharing with your little team or big team or whatever, your teammates. We all need to hear it. I need to hear it. I need to hear it too. And that's the one other thing I want to talk about too is leader participation. I try really hard. I know there are a lot of teams that have a regularly scheduled leader meeting every month and a team meeting every month. And I haven't done that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it felt like pulling teeth to get leaders to show, and we didn't have that many to come. So when anyone had a conflict, it really felt like nobody was coming. I would be more than willing, and I think at this point it might be beneficial to have one meeting a month for leaders to discuss holidays coming up, or booking blitzes, or things of this nature. I kind of this Zoom right now is to kind of tell you how I would love our leadership group to go forward And before, I treated everybody with kid gloves as far as, oh, they made leadership and whatever they want to do with it. And I still feel that way. Your journey is your journey. If you're in leadership and you're in big girl panties and you're going for this, we're going to have to, I want to join together and have a leadership group where we're connected and we are cohesive and feeling like we are part of something bigger than we have been. So that's important to me. And with that being said, so like what, you know, Debbie asked, Debbie, you can post anytime and all that glitters, as long, just make sure that you guys are checking in with yourself. Is this relevant to the whole team? Is this something that's gonna bring benefit to these guys? I'm doing this, or I have this has worked out, or whatever. Yes, you can post. That was given, I think I told you guys a while ago that that's carte blanche as far as leaders are concerned. You don't have to check in with me right now about that. I'm gonna let that fly. Treat all that glitters like your team page as leaders. Talk to the team as they're your team, okay? And I'm not putting anything off on you. I try real hard not to like make sure you guys aren't running my team page. I just want you to show up as a leader, and be part of it and be part of the community, and people know who their leaders are and who they can go to. Sideline sisters, okay? And that works really well. Does anyone have any comments about that?
I appreciate it.
You appreciate it?
I appreciate it because, I mean, I've been a team leader for maybe 4 or 5 months, and I really didn't feel like I was able or wanted to, you know, comment or do a live on your group, you know, so like I didn't know where that gray area was on what was acceptable and what was not. So
good. That's what I wanted this to be, was to kind of clear that era. Perfect.
I like having this smaller meeting with, like she was just saying, like just the team leaders and stuff, because you know sometimes there's stuff that we might want to talk about too that is not something we want to talk about with everybody, which is good. And my only suggestion would be if we could do it like the first Wednesday of every month or something, so that we don't plan our parties. You know what I mean? So we can take that one day that's like we don't plan stuff.
And I do want it to be early in the month, and a Wednesday would work for me as well. So if we want to do that, that should be fine. I don't think I have any commitments on a Wednesday night. Does 7:30 Central Time work for everyone? Someone's giggling. Mickey is like, whenever, I don't know. Whenever I'm sane, I have no idea. No, so we'll plan on that, Danny. That's a great suggestion. I thank you for that. And the other last thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to let Ashlyn take it away. And thank you, Ashlyn, for having patience. And Debbie, we got you. Let's address that, Debbie. Does everybody know that Debbie has some procedures coming up? And right, Deb, have you told them? Because you were supposed to tell them. You're muted. You want me to?
My dog is throwing up, so hold on.
Oh, that's always chaos over there at D. Martina's house.
Oh my God, that's my life. I swear to God, I can't make this stuff up. Yeah, I've got some. This actually has been good because I know Ann and I discussed. I did just start a little team page because I was trying to I'm trying to build. And Ann is my new team leader, so we've got some stuff going on, but it's been overwhelming because I've got a diagnosis of something that I need to address, and I am pretty flip about it because I've known it's been coming for a while, and I feel a little relieved, I guess. I had a telemedicine call with a doctor in Iowa, which is sweet. So it's nice to have those reach outs, but I do have a diagnosis that I have to take care of, and so I like this idea because I was starting to feel a little overwhelmed today with all the different doctor calls that came in and everything else going on, and feeling like I don't want to let my group down, and I want to help, Ann go farther. She's going to blow past me. I know that already. It's not even a big deal. But, I have some new people on there that I'm struggling to really motivate. So it'll be nice to, I will be the first live announcing as soon as you give me the okay. I'm going on there with surgery scars and everything and be like, listen, people,
if I could do it. I mean, you've got carte blanche for sure.
I'm drinking my my kitchen tequila in a fancy cup because I'm a lady.
I love you.
She brings
Tequila.
a
It's
smile to
not
my
tea.
face every time I talk
Not
to her.
tea.
Oh my God. Oh. Well,
But
Debbie,
no,
you
it
can definitely, I'm glad this helps you and brings a little less stress, because I'll be honest, you guys, when I was a team leader, a director, a senior, I didn't know what I was doing. I started a team page so late in the game, and I'm okay with that because I wasn't ready either. And I'm telling you, I like what I heard from Ashlyn and Tracy and some other people that are doing it. It brought their team together. It created a camaraderie. We already have that synergy. I love our group, but I just would love to see you guys present and there more. And what will happen with that is if you could leave yours a little bit to the wayside and come on into ours, then you won't feel like you're like, oh, now I got to go in all the glitters too, you know? No, I don't want you to do that. I want it to feel like one big group until you feel like you need to break away at executive. That's your choice. Okay, so just make sure we communicate that to teams. If your people on your teams are creating team pages, you need to go squash it very nicely and explain to them our procedures, even though I'm going to say it already, but we'll get into a groove and a flow and it'll all be fine.
Right. 'Cause
Okay.
I will want to talk to you about that. I do have a senior stylist who started her own page, and she's very like,
Yes.
so we'll talk.
And yeah, we'll have a little side combo about that. Okay. And then my final thing I want to say is I really want to do a leader incentive trip that I run. A team building experience, not a leader retreat, because I don't want to do that. I want to do something at the beach. So ideally, depending on COVID, I haven't looked into it. So please just know this is a baby idea right now, and I haven't had a chance to do any looking or anything. I haven't put too much thought into it. It'll probably follow along with whatever conventions announcements are. I just need to check into some things. But ideally, I would like Destin, Florida to be a location where you guys earn the trip, and then we go away as leaders and have some stinking fun together and maybe a training or two. But for the most part, it would be a leader retreat, meaning let's go have a good time. We've earned it. So, does everyone think that sounds like a good idea?
Sounds
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I probably should have pulled the cat out of the bag, but what I wanted to do was address it because I know that right now COVID is a main concern for many people. I want to be considerate of that, as well as considerate of people who do want to go and do something. So, you know, I'm just sharing my ideas and we'll see what I can come up with. Okay. And without that, I think that's pretty much really all that I have. Please also reminder to focus on Circle of Excellence with your teams. We have another 6 months to go with this. If you had dreams of doing that for the first 6 months and you did it, you get a second shot at it. And I'd say, let's do it. I would love to see how many leaders on this team can get to Circle of Excellence every single month. Little ideas roll around in my head regarding it. The reason for Circle of Excellence, and this is what you can reiterate to your teams as well, and on All That Glitters, is this is the behavior that gets you where you want to be. Selling and recruiting. And you get money, jewelry, build your team, and more commission when you do all of it. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win all the way around. So if you can get in the mindset of Circle of Excellence is happening, and you build that for your team as well, I would do incentives for that. I would run with that. So that's what I want to say about Circle of Excellence. Okay, Ash, I've totally made you wait. Oh, one more final thing. Conference. You guys, if you get people to conference, every one of you needs to talk to people you've recruited and get them to conference, like watch it, whatever. When I say get to it, I mean get to watching it. It's a big deal. Everyone who's been to conference knows what a big deal it is. Yes, this year will be different. There's no doubt about it. I'm so curious to see how they're going to do it. That alone is like making me want to go. But if you can arrange something with everybody, even if it's maybe online, or maybe you do a Zoom and you share your screen, I don't know. It's an option. then do that. But get your people at conference because a lot of things will be announced and you're not going to want to miss it. Okay?
Don't we think that it might just crash with all of us on there?
We've talked all about it. So hopefully they've done something. We'll see. So hopefully not, you know, I don't know. They were supposed to try it out. I've already talked to some people, but we'll see. I hope not because I have a big party planned. So we'll see. All right. Without further ado, Ashlyn is going to talk to us about planning to promote, which is always a good thing when we're working our business. And she says, if you do not have a vision of where you want to go, you're never going to get there. So she is going to tell us a little bit more about that. Ashlyn, take it away. Woo!
Hello.
Hello, hello.
So just quick on the team page thing, just to give a little experience from what we went through. There's going to be people that are going to not like it. Like every one of them came around later and was like, you're right, this is more work than I need to be doing. So if you're concerned about that with any of your downline leaders, it all worked out in the end. And then your next challenge is going to be everyone creating their own team chat. That was our next thing, because then they're like, well, I'm going to have a team chat now. But just like sending your new stylist to the app, you know, saying, go do all this, and then we'll get back together and ask questions. That's what we also do with new stylists, is ask in the team page or use the search function in the team page, because someone has already asked that question and it's already been answered in our team page, or there's a training about it, or there's a post about it. So the team page is also a place for you to teach your new stylists how to fish, not to feed them, to teach them how. And when someone asks me a really specific question, like about a certain kind of nail bar, or what would they do, you know, different questions about selling or hosting or any of those things, I'm like, oh, ask in the team page. Let's see, someone the other day asked me a question about they had a customer or someone or a potential stylist that was a hairdresser and wanted to know how they held up to that. And I said, well, I know that we have them. There's hairdressers that are customers and stylists, and they do great for them. But if you want more specific information, go ask in the team page, and the stylists that are hairdressers are going to pop up and answer, or those that have customers that have, you know, some information about that are going to answer. So it's also a really great place when everybody's in there and everybody's part of it and participating and not distracted by 4 other groups or more. Then everyone benefits and everyone learns more. Everyone has more support. I don't feel like I have, you know, all of these stylists that I need to be constantly helping or answering questions. They go to the team page. So when things happen, like today happened with the summer launch and the website being crazy, they had one place. They went right to one place to know what was going on and what to do, instead of trickling up or you trickling information down. It's just all right there. So it may be a difficult transition for some, but I promise you won't regret it. So
You popped on the right time, honey, because I sure wasn't going to have you talk about it, but that was good. Okay, good.
And I did take a little bit of a nap until my kids started a roller derby in my kitchen, right on the other side of my bedroom wall. So I actually live in Iowa. Debbie was talking about talking to a doctor in Iowa. So I'm not that far from those of you in Angelique's area. But let's see. And my kids are finding me. My husband's down. We share an office. and of all days, he's down there. So I know that you guys have, buddy, I'm on doing a video, so you need to, I can't, nope, sorry, doing a video. No,
Sorry, can't do it.
can't do it. I can come talk to you when I'm done, or you can go ask your dad. He's downstairs in the office. Oh, we'll snuggle when I'm done, okay? I promise. Okay? Okay? Go save our spot. He's 4. Okay. I can ignore him if you guys can. Okay, so I know that you guys have. Oh, but you can't. I'll be out in just a minute.
Oh, hate that.
Hey, your blanket and your friend are in the dryer. Go get them out.
Get a
That
cookie.
works. Okay.
A cookie in the bowl. Okay.
I know that you guys have these team charts as well. In fact, I think way back in the day, CJ shared these with us and we modeled after hers anyway. So these charts, for those that struggle with the comp plan, it's kind of one of those things, until you know it, you don't know it. Like, it takes some time and second guessing and constant looking. And then once you know it, you know it. So these help tremendously. I also keep my Road to Success by my desk if I ever need to look at it. So have it flip to that page if that's something that you need to know. I got up to my room and didn't have it, and I was like, I'm not going back down there. More chance for the kids to see where I am and where I'm going and try to follow me. So these are the team building charts. Okay, starts way down at senior stylist, tells you all the qualifications for it. So whatever you're working on, and these are great to give to your team, and Angelique probably has them in the files there. She can pop them in pretty easily. Yeah, so it lays it all out so you can see it. Like, the graphic tree is fantastic in the back office, but it doesn't show what isn't there, right? So if you are wanting to promote to team leader, director, senior director, they do stop at senior director, and then if you are going for executive, you just have to piece it together, like find a blank wall and tape it all over. But you can fill these out. Some people put them in the plastic sleeves and use a dry erase marker or an overhead marker. People even know what an overhead is even more anymore. But it shows you what you're working on, like what's missing, who do you need to work on. And it also, doing these and getting to understand the structure of each position is also going to help you when you're looking at the graphic tree. It's going to help you see what's not there, just like these. So I can look at, like Angelique and I went over stuff on your team last month, and I was like, well, this person they're pretty much this and this, like, I'm like pointing all this stuff out. And she's like, oh my God, like, just constant visualization is going to get you to your goal. You can't plan a vacation. Like, if you're wanting to take your kids to, I'll say the Ozarks, because we're going there in a few weeks. If you're wanting to take your family on a vacation, you have to put all the pieces together, right? You have to book your hotel, or, your Airbnb, wherever you're going to stay. You have to ask for time off from work. You have to, get someone to watch the dog or check in on the cat. You have to plan what you're going to eat. You have to budget. You have to do all this stuff. Like, you're not just going to get up one day and like, it's time for vacation. Like, it's just not going to happen on its own.
I would, but that's just me. Don't do me.
Not that you couldn't on a whim decide to go on vacation, but nobody's going to prep a vacation for you and just be like, hey, we have your place to stay, and it's exactly the size that you need. And when you get there, the groceries will be delivered. All that stuff's not just going to happen. There's steps, right? So the same applies to promoting. Anytime someone's working on, anytime my team has worked on a larger promotion, we have like seriously planned it out. Like, and I know that sounds crazy. Like, I can't just decide I'm going to be a national next month. And I can try and plan it out, but the bodies don't exist, right? I mean, like, it's something that you build up to. So I had been doing this for when we became an executive team many years ago. We planned. We got to a point where we're like, okay, there's a manageable amount of empty boxes here. Volumes there. We've hit all these other things that we need. This is our month. We're going for it. And we knew exactly which spots were empty. We honed in on those people. We constant communication throughout the month, back and forth. What are you working on? Who are you talking to? And we worked on it. So I know a lot of times you have a goal and you're like, okay, we're going to do it this month and we're going to run. But without the visualization, you might get to the end and like you're missing something, or it might be the last couple days of the month and you're scrambling and you're like begging your sister to join. Like I remember I told you, many months ago when I joined that you should join, and you said no, and I'm telling you, you have to. that kind of.
Well, and I want to step in real quick here because this happened last month.
Like, anymore. It did.
Well, I was going to say
Almost.
this happened where we were missing $1,000, and we literally, with another team member, had a lot of boxes to fill body wise. We had to get bodies. She got the bodies, thought she had everything else, and when she went to like moved all her people and she clicked, and she's like, what? Why didn't I promote? And she was missing $1,000 of another person on our team that needed it for their lifetime volume. And she didn't know that after we had been working so hard. That's why the visualization and the charts come into a really great place. And I know some of you already do this, and some of us don't at all. So I feel like this is a good place to start.
Yes. And that happened on my team too. The exact same scenario. Senior stylist gets you every time. She had 2 placements to make. She placed one person here and one person here to make 2 senior stylists. She did the wrong ones because one had lots of volume, one didn't. This was a new one over here. So they were shy of that lifetime by like $500. And had she just placed had she swapped the placements, it would have been fine because of that.
And that might confuse some people, but don't let that confuse you. This is a jumping off. I know that what you just said would have confused the blank out of me in the beginning if I had been doing it. I know exactly what you're saying now, but for some of the new leaders, and they're not quite there yet. But
like for a director, you need 2 of them.
Right.
And she had placed someone here and placed someone here. And this one had plenty of lifetime volume, so it was fine. This one was really new. So when she placed the one that just hit 300, altogether, the 3 of them had not yet made the 2,000 required. So she was like, oh, and this person she placed had like over 1,000 for the month. So they would have sealed the deal. So now I do wish I had my my road to success up here because the chart, I love the chart. But sorry, it's very dim in my bedroom. This tells you everything that you need for each position, and it's really good to get to know that. And I know, like, I'm not a numbers person. Like, I can do all the basic math, pretty good at all that. My kitchen math, I've got that down, and tell you how many tablespoons in a cup and all that stuff. But algebra, when it comes to that, I'm like, I'm done. Unless you have an exact example for me, I don't even have a clue where to start. So I understand looking how it can feel to look at this stuff and be like, I have no idea, to look at that chart and it makes no sense whatsoever. But it's just something that I like I'm just kind of like a nerd at memorizing things. So I just keep looking at it every time I need to know something. Like I just keep it handy and I look. And once you get down, senior stylist, you just know that you have certain things you need. You need a lifetime, you need a monthly, and you need these types of legs. And then it's the same at the next one. A bigger lifetime, a bigger monthly, and these types of legs. And it just
And with knowing that information, you know where to focus your energy. You know what incentives you can offer to certain people. You can offer incentives outside of your entire team. I used to not do that because I don't know. I never really felt real right about it, but sometimes it's necessary for another team to get boosted. It's okay because it's going to eventually even out. One time this team's going to really need it. I need a push, and this time this team doesn't. So it doesn't matter. So you can offer outside that. And here's the rule and all that glitters, folks. This happened a couple times this last month. 3 eyes, 3 sets of eyes before you make a move. Okay. And anyone on your team who's a team leader, before they start throwing around people, it would be in their best interest to have 3 sets of eyes on it. Mine, Ashlyn over here has been super generous. I also have Jessica Matney. I know Kupiak is really good at this. Who else is good at the mapping? Anyone? No one? Okay, this is good. Then this is where we need to start. Okay, this is where we need to start. So I'm dead serious. Like with Ashlyn, she's a sideline sister. She's not even, I have a lot of these people.
We're not even in the same lineage.
Hell no. We're not even, no. So this is where you get help from other people and you help them with something else. I mean, that's just really what it boils down to. So make sure 3 sets of eyes, because sometimes you'll make a move and all of a sudden it'll demote somebody else and it'll be like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, what happened? And panic literally will set in. I've been there. I've experienced it a couple times. It's really hard for me. So you don't want to do that. So when you have other people that can look at it outside of your perspective, outside of your relationships, it helps a lot. Okay.
Yeah, and I've had team leaders that are like, I can place now. So I'm gonna move this person over here. Like, well, I wouldn't do that because if you move that person, you're not a team leader anymore. Like, like that's how excited they can get to move, the fact that they have placement power, which is amazing, but they could place themselves right out of their own current title. I even have a senior director that every time she's like, okay, what should we do with this person? And I'm like, well, first we're going to wait 20 days and then we're going to talk about it, because the month just started and you have no idea what's going to happen. Like these couple of areas that she's working on building, if these people like add to their teams, then they may not need you to place, but this one might. So just like we talk every single month, Sierra, we're gonna wait. And she's a good friend of mine, so I can be like, stop it.
Yeah.
But like, people get real excited and then they make placements and they don't think long term. I also helped one of my girls. She's a director. She did promote to senior director, but she was, placing for the month. And she could have made 2 placements and hit, this was 2 months ago. She could have made 2 placements and promoted to senior director. She's like, I hate putting people on this particular leg because, she said that she wanted to be a leader and now she's not even BQ'd and it's 5 days and she's not answering my messages. And so I did some math real quick and I was like, girl, you're going to make $78 if you hit senior director. We're not mapping you for senior director. We're mapping you for executive. And we made, different placements because it just wasn't, wanting that title is fine, but it wasn't going to be beneficial to her long term to put those placements in those spots to promote right that minute. They would have been somewhat wasted just based on, you know, what else was going on the team. And so we met for executive, and now she was obviously going to hit senior director in the process. But now she's that much closer to executive, which we know is
Where you want to go.
The bigger jump. So it's good too to have extra eyes on it, because you can look at it further down the road. Like, yes, we make placements for many reasons, and sometimes it is for promotions right now. But there is also the considering the next promotion after that. Sometimes it's not that complicated. Sometimes it's very simple. But it's just good to have input. And I still ask sometimes. I'll say, Jessica, is this what you would do? And like my own executive will be like, so Ashlyn, where would you put Samantha? If you like, so it, you know, even though we feel really confident in the active placement, we still like to have some feedback and just be like, that's what you would do too? Okay, good. That's what I thought. Like, all right, that's what I'm going to do.
Perfect.
So it's just helpful.
So I would say to kind of blanket statement, what's going on with placement is any team leader that just promotes you, congratulate them. You say, this is amazing. Congratulations on entering your first leg of leadership. You now have placement, strategic placement power. Let's talk a little bit about how we here at All That Glitters do that. We have 3 sets of eyes before we move anyone. And these are the reasons, you know, what we just went over. It's really smart to start utilizing those sheets the minute people are a senior stylist. Don't wait. Don't wait until, you know, it gets into a bigger organization. When you start with this, and trust me, I'm talking to myself as well. So I'm going to start utilizing them and start. So the minute somebody becomes you know, they get a person, you want to show them, here's you, here, you just got somebody. All we need is this somebody, and then go down that little checklist. And that's how you start to grow your thingies and your thingies, grow your team. So that's kind of what I want to do with placement. Is that all you got, Miss Ash?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Okay.
Sure.
Can we say one more thing and then we're letting them go, because this was a full hour and I'm pretty proud that we wrapped it at a full hour. But can we just talk about Rob Sperry's event and how they should try really hard to start saving money to go?
Phenomenal, really. And you know, when one of his speakers is someone that helps him write his book. She's just a really good writer, so she'll help
so amazing
with the organization of the chapters and different things. You know, she said that Rob knows kind of the audience and who needs to hear what, and he brings people in. He's not just like, well, I'm just going to call these 10 people and see if they can come. He pretty carefully puts together the lineup of speakers, and I don't know if any of them were intended for me specifically, but it was unbelievable. Like the things that they were training on and talking about, and how much I needed to hear some of the things they said. You know, conference is great because we go and we get that feeling, and then we get all the technical training and belief in the company and all that stuff. This was like there was technical training, but it was like self-work, belief in yourself, mindset stuff, which, you know, I would say mindset is probably the biggest obstacle that anyone faces in growing their business and just in life in general, is their own mindset. And that's really hard to get around. So any work you can do in that area is beneficial. But it was phenomenal. I went to his 6-7 figure earner one that he had the prior month, and that was more like leader stuff, larger organization stuff, networking. We didn't get into that other stuff. So I am so thankful that I, you know, was offered offered the opportunity to go to that, to the one in Sundance, and I took it because it was so much that I needed to hear and so much that I needed to work on.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, thank you for that. It was so I guess the moral of the story is find somebody that works for you. I know in the last 3 years, I've done a lot of searching. I've done a lot of investing. I've done a lot of trying. By far, without question, that I have chills all over my, this did it for me. And now I have complete and total faith in Rob and what he does and what he promotes. And if you're serious about this, and maybe right now isn't your time, and that's okay, but keep it in the back of your mind that these are the types of things you want to consider doing, even if it's online, to save money or whatever it is. Do it, because it's really, really, really good. So just want to encourage, I'm trying to get all my leaders who can go there, because I want the best for you guys. And this was the best. And his goal is to offer double the value of what he makes you spend, which I thought he offered triple to quadruple what I can't even with what he did. So that I wanted to end on, because you guys deserve it. And Ashlyn, I want to say thank you for coming on and just kind of talking about the comp plan and like how to kind of map people out, I guess, for promotions, and to start there. You guys start early with everyone on your team to grab a sheet and have them to start filling it out just so they can see a visual. And you're the best. Thanks, Ash. Team, thank you so much. Leaders, you're killing it. Our teams are great, and it's because of you. So thank you so much. I will get this on the calendar for every first Wednesday of the month around 7:30 Central Time. And I will also talk to you guys more about the booking blitz. I don't know how much leadership help I'm going to need, but if I need it, I hope that you guys will, if the more that help, the less you have to do. And that's just like what's moving forward. I have no idea what I'm getting myself in with this blitz, but it'll
not, you'll do fine. It's not that hard. We just like got volunteers for, and it doesn't even have to be leaders, like find a stylist that's killing it and be like, can you please come on and talk about how you booked so many parties, last month, or just little trainings that like are great tips and just the kind of stuff that some of it's like stuff we know, but hearing it in a new way is the best. And some of it's just reminders and just a new way of thinking about it. So we just get like a handful of people to talk about all things related to parties and bookings. They do a training or some are a post, and then we go hard for a couple of days booking parties. And
I think that sounds
you got this.
I'll talk to you about it and we'll do it. So all right, sweetie.
And can I ask a quick question?
Yes, absolutely. Who was it? Kubiak?
The oh crud, now I forgot what it was. What was the first thing that we talked about tonight? Do you remember?
Yes, we talked about starting Stylists Off Strong with the.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you. Are you going to do like a post or something in All That Glitters for that, like for like the new have them go to the app, download the app first, that sort of thing?
I can definitely do that, and I can do that in one of my announcements. I can do that for sure. I want to reiterate it to their people verbally, but I know things need to be repeated and seen several times. So I get that, and yeah, I can definitely do that. I was waiting to do that for that app to download, and I need to go back and update. So yeah, that's good. Any other questions?
We did a post that was.
Oh, go ahead, Ash.
We did a post that was kind of like, what do I do when I sign a new stylist? And it was 1, add them to All That Glitters. 2, have them download the app. 3, talk to them about this. 4, that's it. Like, just like make it really break it down to as few steps as possible. Be like, this is what you do with an group. And you wouldn't even necessarily need to add them to your team group.
I'll probably put it in the link tree. I'm in love with the damn link tree. I'm just going to have Zoe, my assistant, put it as a link in the link tree. What do I do with a new stylist, or whatever, new stylist protocol, which sounds boring. So I'll do something fancier, but that way they can just click on that and see the fourth.
Download the app, schedule a phone call for later in the week.
Right. Anything else,
And
guys?
I do want to say that if you can't make the commitment right now, time or money or COVID-wise, go to one of Rob Sperry's mastermind retreats. At the very least, get his book, The Game of Conquering.
Okay.
It's amazing. Like, I talked to it when we were
Actually,
there.
don't.
I was like,
Because I'm
like,
sending
Rob,
all one. Do not do that. It's my gift to you. I've already purchased them, and you should be getting them.
did I let the cat out of the bag? I'm sorry.
No, I just didn't want them to grab it, but even though they could have given it to your team. But I just wanted to tell you that that's how amazing it was. I want you guys to read it. Let me tell you what, Ashlyn invited me to stay in her room. I was supposed to stay in a bunk room to save money. And Ashlyn over here got a fancy room. And she was like, do you want to come? And again, we've known each other for 5 hours. And she's like, do you want to come stay in my room and sleep in this bed with me? And I was like, yeah. So we did. And the first night I had a few beers, no judgment. And I was like, I'm so tired. And I'm laying there and she goes, here, read the first chapter of Rob's book. And the title of the chapter, and I'm not going to tell you anymore, is The Night We Lost Danny. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit. And it changed everything for me. Everything. That chapter will grab you and never let you go. And so I was like, well, I'm buying all of these for my leaders. So it's my gift to you guys. And you will be getting those in the mail as soon as Tracy gets her butt home from Montana. Okay, so she's sending them to me. I bought them from her. But they're really good. I would highly recommend. And that's one other thing. I thought about doing a book club with that book just because the book is this skinny and it's so easy and so good. It sucks you right in from the very beginning, and it would be fun to kind of like bounce it off of each other. So that's an idea I've been rolling around, but I don't want to overcommit anyone. It would be more like, read this chapter, let's discuss it. Is the chapter?
I'm in.
Excuse me.
Who said I'm in?
I'm in.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So
Angelique, I can add you to my my leadership focus group. We did it last month and we broke it up into 4 parts. So each week was a set number of pages, and I just like made up guideline questions. I was like, you don't have to answer these exactly, but they'll help give you, you know, an idea of what to say. And so everyone was commenting their takeaways each week from those chapters. And I mean, this book, it's like, it's directed at network marketing, but he honestly needs to adapt it to apply to general life. Like,
I'm making my kids
good.
read it. That's how good it is. I'm making my kids read it.
It's so good.
15 and 15, they're reading it. They don't know it yet, Logan, but you're reading it. It's so good. So
yeah.
Okay. I've kept you 10 minutes longer than I wanted. So thanks, guys. And we'll see you around in big girl panties and all that glitters. And I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Angelique.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Bye.